Hey guys, and welcome to another kick-ass show of Command Your Confidence. It's my second live stream here, and I'm proud to have sophisticated man, Tino man. How's it going, buddy?
I'm good, brother. Good, man. Good to be back.
Yeah, man, it's been like our last show was back in I think it was November, December. I can't remember. It's been such a long time.
Yeah, the holidays hit and got kind of crazy, but we're past that now. We're back on the grind.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, we're looking forward to doing our routine shows again whenever you can make it on here. Always a pleasure to have you on. Always feel like we have some great topics to talk about, and we give a
Mhm.
lot of value through our shows and everything. And that's we want to, come up with some better topic ideas for you guys this year, so you can like level up in life, kick ass, and not only succeed with women, but have a better mindset so you can achieve other goals in your life and you can become a stronger person and everything.
Absolutely.
Well, rock on! I like your attitude, buddy. So today we want to talk to you about strategies. What strategies do you need to have to become successful with women? And when I first approached you about this show, like this is also what we're talking about right now. You can use these strategies not only to have success with women, but to go out there and achieve goals in other areas for your life as well. When you think so, Tino?
hmm Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think that there's a lot of parallels between being good with women and just being good in life in general, like with your goals, especially business. I know in sales, like there's a lot of very similar things. When you know sales, you kind of know how to talk to women. At least the intricacies of it, it's kind of the same. So yeah, 100%. You definitely notice like it bleeds over into other areas.
Right. And one thing I would have to say, like I have noticed, like working on my social skills with women, becoming more confident with women, I'm able to. I've noticed I was able to take that into other areas of my life as well, as far as being social with other people, just kind of being able to like sell services for my design business that I have going as well. So no,
Mhm.
you have a great point there. And I'll have you start out by saying, what do you think is one strategy every guy needs to become successful with women?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is really just to have a foundation as a man. And I don't even know if I guess you consider this a strategy, but it's more or less a prescription for life. If you want to have long-term success with women, you need to have that foundation. And by foundation, I mean have goals, like have a purpose that you're following, have things that you're trying to build as a man, things that are outside of women, and more importantly, things that are like bigger than you, things that you're trying to do with your life. Like Rob and I have this channel, we have our brands, we have our businesses we're trying to build. That's something that's really important to us. So that needs to be like the first thing. Anything else is like afterwards, like you got to have something that you're trying to do that's beyond women, because that'll kind of keep you on track, and you won't be needy and you won't over pursue because you have like other things set up in your life. So that's the
No,
first thing.
yeah, and I agree. I think not only do you have to have other things going on for yourself besides women, but but you got to do that because like when you're working on other stuff in areas in your life and doing other things for yourself, you're making your self a stronger individual, a more
Yeah.
confident person because you're not just focusing on just women. Like I know a lot of guys, because I've been working in this area for a long time now in my life, and I remember I was there too. I didn't really have I was just had a one track mind. All my focus was just
Yeah.
purely okay. Well, how am I going to talk to women? How am I going to get more dates and have other experiences with women, rather than focusing on other areas of my life? And I realized when I started to kind of focus on in other areas of my life, kind of starting my business, running a meetup group, and
Mhm.
just becoming more social in general. It kept my focus, in different areas and not just on women. And that was a good thing for me because, I was growing in other areas in my life where I was going to have attractive qualities that women find attractive because I'm actually working on doing shit. I'm not just focused on trying to get laid. I'm
Mhm.
focused on trying to, be more social, grow my income, do my fitness and everything. And you're right. You don't when you have a focus and a purpose in your life, you're not going to be needy. You're not going to overly pursue women, and that's going to, a woman, when you're having an interaction with her, and whatever, no matter what the situation might be, I mean, you won't come off as being needy, desperate, and creepy. You'll come off as like a guy who's calm, more relaxed, confident.
Hmm.
Just has stuff going on in his life, in her world.
I agree 100%. Like self-improvement needs to be kind of just the basis, like the bare minimum that you start with. Because like Rob was saying, if you don't start there and you start with just trying to get girls, like you might be able to get away with it for a week, a month or so if you're lucky. Like if you just maybe read some like pickup artist lines and you saw these stuff online, you might be able to like temporarily attract women, but for long-term success and in like long-term relationships or just in general, like having a higher quality connection, you got to have something going on. You got to have some kind of foundation as a man.
Mhm.
So that's the minimum.
Right. No, and I think, like I said, when you have that foundation, you're building all these things for yourself. Like I think, I said before, you just you're doing something for yourself where you're gonna, grow in your confidence and everything, and a woman's gonna find that attractive. Because I know some guys who I met during this journey and everything. That's all they ever cared about, and like they'd
Mhm.
always get upset if a woman flaked on them. They get really pissed off about it.
Yeah.
They would overly pursue the woman by talking to her more, just trying. She wasn't responding to her text message right away. She'd get all worried. I mean, I was always worried about that too. Like,
Mhm.
hey, girl's not texting me, and I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? It's always on my mind. But when you have other things to focus on, you can easily get out of that situation, and you're not gonna like
Mhm.
you're not have those needy qualities or get disappointed when women flake on you. I take it as a blessing because like I
Yeah.
was telling you earlier all this stuff I'm doing, and I can use that time to be doing something else. And I
Mhm.
noticed too, like when I haven't, in this, and I wasn't playing. I remember sometimes women would complain about me not responding to them right away after they messaged me, and I really authentically was busy at the moment working on something
Right.
that I was doing, and I'd have to tell them that, and they were kind of chasing me.
Yeah. Mhm. That's what happens. I mean, women are gonna wanna go for the guys that actually have something that he's trying to build or something that he's trying to do in life that's really, like, important to him. Because I was there too at one point where I had nothing, like, I was in college, I didn't have much going on for myself, didn't really know who I was or what I wanted to do, and because of that, the girl I was talking to at the time, she was, like, my entire focus. I would just, like, drop everything if she texted me or friends would ask me to hang out. I'd say, nah, I'm hanging out with this girl. Like I would just completely forget about anything else going on. School, I wasn't even focused on. Like, even though I was in college, I wasn't super into my studies when I was talking to her. She like occupied most of what was going on in my head.
Mhm.
So after that, I had to learn like the hard way, inevitably when she left because that was all I was really focused on. And there was a lot of different things going on in that situation. But I had to learn like I have to have a foundation. I have to have a solid base of me and who I am first
Mhm.
before I even think about getting into something with a girl long term. Because
Mhm.
yeah, like you said, it's you won't really care if girls are flaking on you or if they like you, they don't like you because you're always still focused on your direction because they're going to come and go and you're going to find the ones that do connect with you, throughout your journey.
Mhm. Right. And those are the ones you have that connection with. Those are the ones you want to kind of keep around and kind
Yeah,
of
exactly.
see where things go. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah. So like you're not like that's when you got shit going on, and you don't have those connections with girls that help you deal with the frustration, like I was saying earlier.
Mhm.
And I
100%.
and I think that's a lot of that's the problem that a lot of guys have who are kind of just getting into this space, because they're just kind of focused on having that success with women that they fail to kind of focus on other areas of their life as well, and
Yeah.
they get and because of that, they're missing out on the essentials and everything that
Mhm.
really make them attractive.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta be the full package and, you gotta have, like, a lot of different things in your life taken care of. Now you don't have to be like perfect. I know some guys might hear this and think, "Oh my God, do I need six figures? Do I need to be like 6% body fat? Do I need to have like a crazy Maserati?" Like, no, you don't need any of that stuff. But you do need to be on the pursuit of something greater. Like, you don't have to be a millionaire, but you should be working on becoming more financially successful, more successful business wise, more successful with your career, more successful in your physique. Like, you should be trying to improve. You don't have to be like completely like 1% man, but you do have to be like moving towards something.
Hmm. Right. Like it's funny they say that 'cause some people think they can't have that until they have that. Until they think that they can't have a woman until they
Right.
are successful. And really, they should be focusing on that too while they're working on themselves. And because, like, you can say you go out there and you wait until you become successful. You don't know how long that's going to take.
Sure.
So
Hmm.
and by the time you become successful, you're going to be disappointed because you didn't work on yourself to become a better man. You didn't work on your social skills. You didn't work on your mindset and your confidence and
Hmm.
overcoming challenges in your life
Yep.
because you were just focused on making that big, saving up for that car, working those long extra hours so you can make that extra money. And then by the time you already had, since you're not doing that, your game is going to be weak as fuck because like
Hmm.
you have not gone out there to take the initiative in your life to, um, go communicate with them and work on yourself. So
Hmm.
when you agree that's a thing that you've noticed.
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest things I see people do is they focus so much on external things instead of internal realities. So they're trying to change their external world, like you said, with cars, money, clothes, homes, whatever, and they neglect the internal. When the reality is, when you change the internal, then your outer world reflects that. So if I become a
Mhm.
better person, I become more confident, I have higher self esteem, I have better communication skills, all these different things we mentioned, well, then I'm going to eventually get more resources naturally. I'm going to be more of a valuable person, which is going to make me more money, which is going to make me more influential, more impactful. And then you do get those things. So like you don't put the cart before the horse. You got to do your stuff first. Then if you even like nice cars, you can maybe indulge a little bit, get a nice car, get nice looking clothes. Like I can appreciate nice suits and nice clothing myself, but that
Mhm.
doesn't come until I become a better person first.
Mhm. Right, exactly. And it's something you kind of do to reward yourself, for
Exactly.
being
Yeah.
on that journey. It's okay to kind of indulge a little bit and
Mhm.
because like you gain that level of confidence and built up your mindset a bit. So you're like, you gotta give yourself a little something in return for making the effort to do all that.
For sure.
Uh, so I think another thing, a success strategy, and in order to become successful women is, just taking action, going out there,
Mhm.
making stuff happen. I think a lot of people like they will see stuff on YouTube, they will read books and everything. Yet when they go out and try to, practice what they've learned, or just try to have a communicate with women based off what they learned, they don't take any action. They let their negative beliefs in their mindset keep them from doing it. They stay in their comfort
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's a big one. Like, people will watch a bunch of videos or read a bunch of books and think that they're actually, like, progressing in that area. Now, you might be progressing in your mindset, you might be thinking differently, but until you apply the knowledge you're learning, you're not really doing a lot. And that was
zone.
something that I got stuck with for a very long time. Like, I would read all this different information and watch video after video, but it actually did more damage than it did good because I would take in so many different points of view and I'd be like conflicted about what I should even do next. When the reality was, if I just did something, I could learn from that experience and then the next time change it and do something different just from taking my own action. So yeah, I think guys look at content too much and they become consumers instead of actually going out and making things happen. Because that's where you're
Mhm.
gonna learn the most of it anyway, is just through experience.
Mhm. Right, exactly. I know, like even just like if you're not good, you're a little rusty on your skills, like even just doing the small things to build the momentum. Uh, so I told you right before the show that I've been slacking on my day game stuff. I've been having so much success on the dating apps, and I realized, well, hey, man, like I kind of want to get back into the daytime stuff like I was doing before. I mean, nighttime, no problem, but it's just like I remember, like when I was going out, like grocery store or whatever, just getting like soda or some shit like that. I at least have an interaction with a woman and try to get a date and everything. And I just kind of got comfortable back into my old set ways because like I said, I went into just got into the dating apps, and that made me a little lazy. So I said to
Mhm.
myself, I got to start building the momentum. And so
Yeah.
I talked to my mentor who kind of got me into that, and I'm working with him, and I took small stuff to kind of build that up. So that's taking action right there. Rather
Mhm.
than not doing a damn thing about it. It's like saying you're going to do it, but then not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you're just sitting there thinking about it instead of actually actively taking steps to improve it. I mean, you could sit there and read all you want about certain things, but it's not going to change until you actually like put effort towards it. And that's with anything in life. That's
Right.
talking to women, building a business, getting good in the gym. I mean, really anything.
Right. We can sidetrack make the topic here, but that's true. Like, you can have an idea for a business venture or
Yeah.
losing weight, but if you sit around, you can read a lot of books, you can watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, but if you just sit around and not take any action, and you're not going to make shit happen for yourself. That is important to if you want to build that business or lose weight, you got to take small actions. Like even though you you might be at the moment your daily routine might not allow it, you got to figure out some time to put into that just to build the momentum.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. So I was just messing with my lighting right there. It's like
Oh,
crazy.
okay. No, I hear you. I sometimes mess with my lighting, so you're
It's
good.
just kind of bugging me. Um, but no, I agree 100%. I think is that still too dark or is that good?
Oh, you're fine, man. Like, but you're a little dark. But I mean,
Yeah. Let's see if I can move this a little bit.
okay, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Here's a little that's the beauty of content creation. There's always something.
Yeah, right. No, I hear you. I hate having to record a vid when I record some content and I like screw up. And I like gotta
Always.
record again.
Hey, that's the thing about going live. You just never know what's going on.
Right.
But yeah, to your point, I think a lot of guys they almost get off on other people's successes, and what I mean by that is, I've done this before too, where you look at a YouTube video maybe of some guy who's like really successful, or he's really, you see a guy approach a girl on a video, and you think, wow, that's super cool. You get like a bunch of dopamine from that, and you get like super excited, but like you didn't take any action, so you're not actually making your life any better by watching somebody else do it. Might feel good because it's like it's interesting and you're like, oh my god, it can be done, like super cool, but you're not actually doing anything by sitting there watching it. You're just kind of consuming information. So
Mhm.
you do have to kind of bite the bullet at some point and just be willing to jump into shark infested waters if you've never done something like that before. You're uncomfortable. You should be, you should do things that are uncomfortable for you because that's how you're going to grow and that's how you're going to learn how to be proficient and competent in those areas. Um, Even the most successful people with their masters of the craft, at one point they were a rookie and they did not know what to do. So you got to
Mhm.
start somewhere.
Right. Well, what do you think keeps people from taking action? Because there can be many things. That it could be just laziness, not mindset, and if people don't have the right mindset, or feels, or they could be like, well, they don't deserve it. Like, what's your opinion on that? What do you think would be the top reason why someone might not want to take action? But if there's more than one, I'll give you two.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, I think there is a lot at play there. I think one of the biggest things for me was just fear, fear of, it could be fear of judgment, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of what other people think. There's a lot of that going on. Guys, I have a client right now who he wants to start making content. He wants to start putting himself out there, but he has this fear of judgment about what other people would say or, their opinions of him because he has some things to say about it could be, I think he's talking about self-improvement as well. But he cares too much about what they think. And I'm going to be coaching him actually after this call, but I'll probably bring up to him, hey man, you gotta be willing to just like not care about random people on the internet because at the end of the day, whatever you say, whether it's like really, really viral or not, there's gonna be somebody that'll probably make fun of you. They're gonna judge you. They're gonna think you're stupid, corny, whatever. But you just can't care about that. I have a list of people that I value their opinions, and it's literally like 2 to 3 people, and most of
Mhm.
them are my family, like really close people to me. Everybody else, like I don't really care. If you like me or not, it is what it is. But I think that's a big one that keeps guys stuck. I think is just caring a lot what people think.
Right. Well, no, and I could see that because, like, we all want to we have this need, we want to be liked and everything,
Sure.
and and sometimes, like, it keeps us from being authentic and, putting out our best selves and everything. And
Yeah.
I think, like you said, you just got to learn, you realize not everyone's gonna be on the same page as you are or follow your protocol.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna work out. You have to accept that. I think
Hmm.
in order to accept that, you just have to go through that experience. And, when you see that, like, I don't know, I post some motivational. I've been doing a lot of shorts lately. I've been noticing I'm getting one thumb down on a short. I'm like, okay, well, you can't
Yeah.
let it happen. It could be a troll. It could be
Sure.
someone who has a negative perspective on life. So that's
Right.
everyone is entitled to think and believe the way they want to believe, and
Of course.
I think you got to learn to accept that. And when you can accept that, you won't give a damn.
Yeah. I think the funny thing about content creation and I didn't really know a lot about this getting into it, but you really have to develop some thick skin pretty quickly because people are always going to have an opinion and
Mhm.
critique anything you say, especially guys like us. Like we talk about masculinity, we talk about men and women dynamics. Like that's like a very, very taboo thing right now, and it's very popular. So, well, it's becoming more popular, but everybody's gonna critique you or they're going to say, "Oh my god, you're wrong, you're a misogynist." I mean, I've been called basically every name in the book.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, you just got to accept like, "Hey, I know what my intentions are. I know what I'm trying to do. It's not to belittle anybody. It's not to make anybody feel bad, but I'm just here to tell the truth. The
Right.
way that I see it through my eyes." So you can't really be too concerned about it. Even like the love. I know this is an interesting perspective, but even people that support you to the point where they're giving you a lot of praise, they're really like inspiring and being your cheerleader, that is great. And I think that's a good thing. But even that to an extent, you don't want to be too caught up in because what's the quote? It's like you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are either. You should be like very neutral, like stay right in the middle. You're too high on yourself, you're going to get a little cocky, or you might be a little bit arrogant in times for certain things. If you're too low on yourself, you'll never have enough confidence. So I think the best approach to be right in the middle. Like don't weigh too much into any opinion, positive or negative. I think.
Right. No, that's good. And I mean, yeah, and like you said, yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but I think, what we're teaching more positive and self-development stuff. There's way worse stuff out there.
Oh my god,
So,
yeah, way worse.
yeah, so we come from like the brighter side, the good side of things. But no, I've been labeled the same way, and I try to tell people it's more about self-development and mindfulness. And
Yep,
some people like it, other people are like, oh, that's chauvinistic. I'm like, well, none of my stuff is talking down to anyone. So
exactly.
presenting the information in an equal way. So like no one gets offended. You still get critics about that,
Always.
and but it's just the way it goes, and like all I think about, that person's entitled to believe that, but there's other channels out there that say way worse, way,
Mhm.
way, way, way worse. Give
Yeah.
I think good guys the wrong perspective on stuff.
For sure. I agree.
So I like being still be able to do this channel where I can present stuff in a way that's more about mindfulness, self-development, positivity, and taking both viewpoints from a man and a woman rather than just singling someone out. I'm strong into the equality thing, and everyone has their differences, and it's always interesting to hear both sides rather than just like saying that your side is like the best side. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's a nice little segue into maybe a potential, it's kind of related to the topic that we had with like
So,
strategies of being successful, because I think you also have to understand like a woman's point of view. You have to understand the feminine to its full scope. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there when men talk about women, they talk about like the different like the differences between men and women, and there's a lot of differences.
mhm.
It is also important to understand too, like a lot of the positive differences, not just the negative differences. Like, there's a ton of content out there. I'm not going to get too much into that, but there's a lot of positive differences that women offer that men, not saying they can't, but they do it at a better capacity than us. Like they're most likely better nurturers, more loving, a little bit more caring in different ways. They're not, I'm not saying it's always 100%, but typically they're better listeners, better at social cues. Like those things are all really positive. So you have to understand what femininity even is, how it's different than masculinity. Because I think when you understand both of our natures, then you create a better dynamic overall. Because you could
Mhm.
benefit yourself, then you benefit women as well. Because it is a win-win. And I think a lot of guys sometimes forget that. And they think, oh, well, I'm gonna get into this relationship, I'm gonna bang these girls, blah, blah, blah. You're just serving yourself. At the end of the day, you are serving both people. Like relationships, sex, whatever, it's a two-way thing. So you do want her enjoyment out of it as well. At least if you're a functioning human who has a
Yeah,
conscience,
right.
you should
Right.
want that.
You have a good point. Yeah. I mean, you got to look at it, but like both people are benefiting from rather than like,
Yeah.
but it's like like no, and that's why I tend to like I say, like we're talking earlier about like connection. Like I will not even I I know like the type of girl I would like to hang out with, the type of girl who even if it's a short term thing, I know that type of girl. I'm just not gonna like go out there and put up, with anything else if that's not doesn't meet my standards. And I think
Hmm.
that's a good thing to have because when you have that connection, when you have that vibe, where you guys are on the same level, you both are getting something out of the situation, regardless of what it is, a casual thing, short term or long term relationship. You both have something coming out of that.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, you have to just approach everything with a win-win mentality. Like if I'm getting a lot of value, I'm gonna make sure that I reciprocate that value. Like I'm gonna be a good person to her. I'm gonna make sure that I'm supporting her. I'm giving her what she needs too. It's not all just about you. It is, if it is a relationship, it is a reciprocal thing. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, 100%. You need to understand like women. You need to understand men, most importantly. But you do got to know how that dynamic plays into each other.
Right. I know. You think most guys fail that they don't think about that?
Yeah, I think they do sometimes. I mean, if you're younger, usually on the younger side, guys will kind of be more just like, ah, man, I'm just focused on like myself, my pleasure, my stuff, whatever, which is normal. I think at a young age, we're kind of always like that. But I think it comes with maturity, and once you become more um, experienced, once you become more just involved in your life and the things that you're trying to do, you start to think about, well, how can I be of service to other people as well, not just with women but with other people. Like if you have clients, if you have business associates, you have friends, all these different things. And your relationships are no different. If you want to attract a quality woman, well, you have to obviously be a quality man first, and you have to have features and personalities and just like different values that you offer that a woman would actually like and want to stick around with. So it's a very mutual thing. Um,
No, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
things
Like,
like that.
hello. Oh,
Oh,
you there?
Yeah. Can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, but no, you're right. You want to have good qualities as a guy. You want to develop those qualities. You just don't want to be bland. You want to have something interesting about you. You want to have something that's going to spark a woman's attention and keep her attracted to you. Not just like I think that's why it's important. Like you mentioned earlier, to have other things going on in your life. And, kind of focus on building a life for yourself and doing other stuff outside of just focusing on women. Because, like I said, they're going to see that if you're just the type of guy who focuses on women, you're going to be bland
Yeah.
and you're not going to have any character or substance to your personality or your lifestyle.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Substance is key. Like if you're woman crazy, then most likely like you're those kind of guys are just not interesting. Like all they have to talk about is just chicks and just that's it. They have no like interesting stories, no hobbies, no lifestyle things that they can share, no really other value. So like you gotta be a little bit more diverse than just getting chicks because that's
Yeah,
it's only gonna last so long.
right, exactly. And I think too, like, yeah, just having a diverse sort of like, interest in your life, and, stuff going on in your life can be good in other areas of your life as well, not just your friends. I mean, your friendships and, how you communicate and connect with other people,
Mhm.
your business, whatever it is. So just having this diversification and building yourself up in different areas, that's going to really make you strong and make you more, attractive, not, in other areas of your life outside of dating with women as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I think being well-rounded is very important.
Hmm. Right, exactly. It's good to kind of, go out there and just experience, like, build, like, if you haven't done anything, like, say, go travel the world, go
Yeah.
you do something that you want to do, work on a goal. If you want to be a box car, a race car racer or something like that, or just
Yeah.
there we go out there try to make it happen. If you want to try your martial arts stuff, if you want to, go out there and make something, go out there. If you haven't already, and you just like kind of like something's holding you back from actually going out there and taking action, or you just want to start like, learning karate, working out, starting a business. Go out there and make that stuff happen for yourself. Because you're going to find when you go out there and make that happen for yourself, you're going to become more confident in who you are because you're going out there and you're building something good. And it's like a new experience. And that's going to project in your interactions with other people, especially
Mhm.
women.
1,000%. You're gonna be more enthusiastic, you're gonna be more charismatic, you're gonna have more things to say, um, because you 'cause you're gonna have a life that's interesting, and she's gonna be interested in you having an interesting life,
Mhm.
1,000%.
Right, exactly. And a lot of people won't do that. A lot of guys, when you're like again, we're going backtracking, when you just have one focus, like
Yeah.
just women, like what else do you have to talk about? I mean, plus if
Exactly.
you build shit for your life and you're taking action, doing stuff, and you're going out there and experiencing life and making stuff happen, you're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Mhm. Exactly.
That's where your excitement, that's where your flair and like, where you're just, the tale of yourself is gonna, show in your interaction with the woman.
Mhm. Yeah, especially if you're enjoying it too. I think that's another piece of it, to your point, like, when you actually enjoy your life, you're gonna come off as way more, like, positive. Because if you're in a job right now, 9 to 5, for example, and you hate it, and you're miserable every day, well, that's not gonna come off very, like, attractive to a woman. She's gonna be like, "Wow, this guy hates his life, not very interesting, not very excited." Um, it's not a good look, and you're gonna basically how does that sound when you're talking to a girl if you tell her, "Oh, yeah, I hate my job, my boss sucks, this work sucks, I always wanna go home, blah, blah, blah." That doesn't sound very attractive, like, if you just don't enjoy your lifestyle. So, if you do things that you like, you're gonna have a lot more things to say, and it's gonna sound a lot more positive because 'cause you're going in a solid direction. "Oh, man, I'm working on this, I got this business growing, I'm doing this over here, traveling here and there, like, you have things going on. So, that's absolutely like, that's gonna come off way more, confident and way more attractive.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's you're right because when you're happy with, when you're building a life and you're happy with what you're doing, like like I said, guys listening to the channel or listening to the replay, just think about one thing you can do today to just kind of one thing you've always wanted to do. You know, make that happen for yourself. Go out and do it. You're watching. You realize when you go out and do that, you know, even though it's a slow start, you know, the more you do it, you're gonna feel a lot more better about yourself. You're gonna, you know, you're just gonna be more confident in yourself. You're gonna be like, well, I'm glad I did this. You're gonna be more happy, and that's really gonna show when you're going out on a date with a woman because you know the words, the way you're describing things, and everything, the way you're talking about stuff in your life at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it can really be anything. Like if you've always wanted to play guitar, learn guitar, do that. Like just start small and just start branching out. You'll start to find that you're probably a lot more interested in things than you thought if you never tried things out. So just try a bunch of shit, just experience things.
Right. Did I tell you I actually picked up the guitar again? My roommate plays the keyboard and stuff, so like
Oh
it
yeah,
kind of motivated me to pick up the guitar. It's been very slow though,
yeah,
but it's fun just to kind of get back into that. I had to buy like my amp again, but we wanted to like do some like coffee houses and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool because I like doing the little jam sessions. But you know, I told him
yeah.
like, "Hey, we'll whenever I get time, we'll just ease my way back into it. You know, because that'd be like something fun to do. And I can say to myself, yeah, I'm starting to play music again, which because
Hmm.
I'm a creative individual,
Right.
and you know, just being able to do that is exciting.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. I'm the same way. Like I have music as a pastime. Like I listen to a lot of music, but then I also make some music as well. Like with guitar, I play guitar myself, and then I'll write some like I'm not a rapper, but like I'll write like rap stuff like just for myself, for my own like self pleasure because it's just fun and it's a way to get my my thoughts out there, my ideas about things. So yeah,
Mhm.
like just small things like that. You don't have to like be an entertainer to other people, but as long as you have it for yourself, I mean that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's true. So definitely figure out one thing you can do just to like you said, you want to pick up the guitar or write whatever. Just get back into that
Yeah.
thing. It's like just being able to do that is going to give you that momentum and there. Plus, when you go out and you're taking that action for that, it's going to help you build. You know, you're going to want to take the action to be more social with women, overcome your anxiety because you're overcoming your laziness to or fear about doing something in another area of your life. So if you do it in there, you can do that when it comes to talking to ladies. It's
Hmm.
that simple. You can
Yeah,
put
it
everything.
really is.
It's interesting how you combine like learn to become good with women with other areas of your life. Like you said, building a business, losing weight, um,
Hmm.
wanting to achieve what other goals in your life, personal, or
Yeah.
you check off stuff on your bucket list. It's so
Hmm.
amazing how you can tie all the steps and mindsets and actions, into that other area.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of carryover into that stuff, and I made a video about this not too long ago, but this is kind of another one that I think guys need to understand is like with women and just talking to women, you have to understand that that's like, and this is maybe more tied to their mindset, but start thinking that women, like talking to women is not as difficult as a lot of guys make it sound. Like there's certain things that you need to do, like in terms of just maintaining eye contact, tonality, all that kind of stuff. But it's really not that hard. Like what's hard is building a business. Like what's hard is making sure you're getting into ideal your physical shape. Like what's hard is making a lot of money, being a millionaire. Like that stuff is hard. But I think guys sometimes psych themselves out and they say, "Oh my God, talking to this girl, it's so difficult approaching." Not really. Like just walk up and say something.
Yeah, well, I think you know what the problem is though. Like they see all the content about like fear talking to girls, how to
Yeah.
talk to women, and that it can be challenging. But I think the main thing is like I think the main problem is you just gotta learn how to be social and learn how to be
That's it.
yourself and be comfortable in your own skin. And
Hmm.
that, I mean, that's one of the things I've learned over time is like you got to definitely become more a sociable person, not just with women, but with anyone you see. And like the
Yeah.
more social you are with other people, the more easy it's going to be for you to have a conversation with women. You know, a
Mhm.
lot of guys I think who have struggled in this area just have a hard time being social when it comes to in their personal life. And if they can learn to build upon that, they can then drag it into another area of their life.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think if guys if guys feel like they have approach anxiety with women, most likely you have approach anxiety just in general. Like if you can't walk up to a girl and say something, you probably can't walk up to any stranger and start a conversation. Like it's very much tied to that. So you get good at that stuff of meeting random people that you meet in the gym, on the street, in the gas station, grocery store, wherever, and just start casual conversations and just have fun with it. You'll notice that talking to women is a lot easier. It's literally the exact same thing, except if you want to get her number and take her out, like you can just do that. Like just set the
Mhm.
intention. But like be social, like learn to just start conversations and just smile at people, maintain eye contact, like hold your head up high. I mean, there's so many people these days, especially now, that I see walk around, they can't even maintain eye contact. They don't even look people in the eyes, or they don't even like look up and like smile at you. They're stuck in their phones, or they're just like super distracted. They don't actually know what the hell's going on. It's like a superpower to walk up to a total stranger and start a conversation out of thin air. It's not impossible. I mean, I've
Right.
done it multiple times, hundreds of times, but a lot of people psych themselves out of that.
Yeah. But I think there's it's also like they're afraid of the rejection, and like that's why people don't go for other opportunities in life because they're afraid of being rejected. So like as a guy, you have to learn, there's that rejection is a part of life, and you got to be comfortable with that and accept that. This kind of goes into what you're saying about not giving a damn what other people think about you too. And I think that's what holds them back is that rejection. They feel like, well, they want that exception, that be accepted. If they don't get that accepted, just the fact that they don't really like themselves too much, that they let the rejection get to them.
Hmm. Yeah, and you just have to be okay with that too. I mean, if somebody doesn't like you or somebody doesn't accept what you're offering, that's fine too. I mean, just kind of just learning to be okay with rejection, fear, with doubt, not being confident. Like the more okay you are with being uncomfortable, then the better off you're going to be just in general.
Hmm. Right. No, and that I think that is another like habit that everyone, not just guys, but both guys and girls have to even build in their lives to become successful. Because I think girls feel like are afraid to be rejected sometimes too, but guys,
Sure.
just see it the other way around. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, sometimes they are. I mean, you'd be surprised how many girls actually don't get as hit on as you think, especially the really, really pretty ones. Like some girls are literally like they're begging for guys to approach them, but they don't really get approached because a guy assumes she probably gets hit on all the time or she probably rejects everybody, whatever. You just don't know until you go out and just try.
Right. Exactly. And then I guess and this will segue into the final success strategy, and that's just having your mindset.
Yeah.
You got to have the right mindset. You got to be able to. We talked about this on past live shows. Filter out like what beliefs you want to allow into your life. Your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about women are gonna keep you from having success if they're like very negative. And that's the same if you want to go out there and create a business for yourself. You have all these negative beliefs about that, then you're not going to make that happen for yourself. So mindset is really important because when you can have the right mindset about yourself and the outside world, that is really going to help you move forward, not just with women, but in other areas of life, business, losing weight, just dealing with the journey. Because the journey, the path to success, there's no easy path to success. Every journey has its like roadblocks and challenges that people have to face. You got to have the right mindset to be able to make that happen. If you have a crappy mindset, you're the type of person who gives up, that you're not going to make that shit happen for yourself.
Hmm. Yeah, mindset's huge. I mean, it's all about how you think about yourself and how you think of the things that you want out of life. Like, do you think you deserve it? Do you think you have what it takes? And does it intimidate you? Like, you should be very calibrated towards your goals and actually feel like you do deserve what you want, and um, you do have a level of like confidence when it comes to achieving these things. And really, when you think about it, confidence comes from competence. So when you start to become good at what you're doing and you know you're good at what you're doing, you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel confident. And it really starts in your mindset. Like you got to start telling yourself you are that kind of person. You are that kind of man that gets what he wants. And you'll start to become that guy in real life. So, yeah, your mind is very, very powerful in that sense.
Right. As you can see, I got this poster here that I made myself. Believe in yourself every day, and you will be unstoppable.
Yeah.
I read this every morning to
Hmm.
kind of remind myself that if I want to make something happen for me, I gotta have to believe in myself. The power of belief is what's gonna kind of give you the strength to push through all this stuff. Keep the right mindset, the right attitude that will help you get what you want in life. It will help you believe that you can make it happen. Because like I had a mentor tell me this a while ago. Like the reason why you're kind of struggling is because you don't believe in yourself 100%. So ever
Hmm.
since he had brought that to my attention, I have something to remind me to believe in myself.
Yeah.
um,
True.
have you ever seen Lego the movie? You-
In
I
the
know
movie?
Lego the movie.
Oh, Lego, but no, I never saw that.
Well, there's another interesting concept. So, like, one of the main characters didn't believe he was a master builder, and so therefore, like, screwing up and not making stuff happen. But eventually, he learned to believe in himself, and when he learned to believe, he became that master builder. So, you know, and I believe that the power of belief is very powerful. Like,
Yeah.
you want to, you have to believe that you can be that type of guy who can be confident, be successful, women if you got to believe that even if you're not there yet, that you can go out there and make shit happen. And the same goes with your business, or just being able to do stuff that you want to do in life. You got to believe in it to make it happen. If you don't have that there 100%.
Mhm.
It's not going to happen. And that's a hard thing to do because we get so distracted by external factors. So it's like a exercise they got to like practice every day. The power of belief.
Mhm. Yeah, it is a muscle that you need to work on. Like if you don't work on it, then it's gonna get weaker, just like in the gym. If you don't work out, you're probably gonna lose some strength. Same thing with belief. Like you have to reinforce your belief every single day. And like I don't care if you have to tell yourself in the mirror and give yourself affirmations. Hey, I am confident, I am successful, I am this, I am that. Just to get yourself motivated, like, if that's what you gotta do, you gotta do it. I try to journal every night to try to give myself, like, a little added motivation, extra belief, like, stacking my wins and documenting that, so when I look back on those things, I could see all the things I've accomplished, I could see all the things that I'm doing, um and just having a strong why, like knowing why you started in the first place and having that drive you because there's gonna be days where you don't feel like doing it, you don't feel like going to the gym, you don't feel like making those reach outs or starting your business or whatever, but you have to be a little bit more tough on yourself and say, well, my feelings don't matter right now, I know what I'm trying to achieve and that matters
Mhm.
more. So you have to, yeah, that belief is, I'd say it's 80% of the battle, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like I said, just exercising your mind, then again, we're all the stuff we're talking about, the success strategy. When you go out there and practice these principles, uh, you're gonna build that belief in yourself because you're gonna see that you're able to make stuff happen in other areas of your life that it's gonna be you're gonna you're gonna start believing in yourself that you can be successful. Be that guy who can be good with women or any of them, be good at making the life that they want for themselves.
Mhm. 100%. Yeah, it always bleeds over.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, any final thoughts here before we wrap up? Very quickly. I'm thinking like our next show that we do. I always want to do like a show on business and everything. Maybe
Yeah.
I mean I love talking about the growth stuff and the mindset stuff, but I mentioned in an Instagram post back in December that I wanted to start doing some business stuff. So I'm thinking
Mhm.
let's do some business topics moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. I'm down.
Throw it into the queue and everything.
For sure.
Rock on. Okay, but anyways, I'll let you. So, what are some takeaways that you think you can give our viewers or people who view the live stream?
I mean, I think we talked about a lot of really great things. I'd say if maybe I were to summarize it, have that foundation built, do things in your life that excite you. Like start to if you don't have an exciting life, like try to create that. Like do things that you enjoy. Have hobbies, have a purpose, have goals that you're setting for yourself. That should always be the priority is your self-improvement. And then from there, just start taking action. Like face your fears. Because if you don't ever do that, you're gonna be sitting in a rocking chair, 80 years old, wondering why the hell didn't I work on myself or why didn't I take that risk? I don't know if you're familiar with Justin Waller. He has this quote. He calls it the rocking chair quote or the rocking chair test or something. He imagines himself like 80 years into the future, sitting in a rocking chair, looking back on his life, and basically he's judging himself. So by the actions you're taking, do you want to be looking at that younger version of yourself from your old perspective thinking, man, I'm really proud of him, or are you embarrassed? So always think about that. Like imagine you are old, gray, like rocking chair guy. Would you look back on your life and be proud and excited by what you did, or would you be ashamed because I didn't do it enough? So
Right.
always kind of think about that.
Well, I like that. And it's funny you said that because I was a little bit hesitant to come out here to Arizona from Michigan.
Yeah.
When I was with this girl, for this girl I was seeing, and I had a friend said the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, "Well, you don't, I know you seem willing to slice, but you don't want to, regret it." Like, so I went out there. I didn't, it didn't, and the relationship didn't work out, but I made shit happen in a lot
Yeah.
of areas in my life. And I'll be honest with everyone, I went through hell doing it. I had my ups and my downs making shit happen. Even when things were going well, I went through down points, I should say, points in my life where I got down again. But you got to remember, even when that happens, you got to stay focused and continue to make that happen. Because, I'm going out there and doing it. And the more I go out there and push through these challenges, the more I get myself out of a rut, or the more I make shit happen, the more positive and charismatic and happier I become. And when I go out there and I have my dates with women or go talk to women, I project that. So
100%.
definitely do it. It's worth the hard work, but don't just do it. Just and yeah, I know you want to do it just so you can go out there and meet women, but do it to make yourself a better person, a better individual, and a more happier person. Because I mean, it's totally worth it. And like any girls who are watching the stream too, go out and go do the same principles. Don't just focus on guys all the time. Focus on becoming like the best version of yourself, whatever it is. Because I think when you go out there and do it, you're gonna like I believe in like the law of attraction. You're gonna
Yeah.
draw these type of people into your life. You're gonna draw the right people into your life. You're gonna help you, the women too, but other
Mhm.
people who are gonna help you on your journey. You're gonna draw the right energy that's gonna help you become successful. So yeah, man. Well, very good show, and I'm glad to do this. If you're down, let's do this again in 2 weeks, and we'll do like a business show. I want to throw a little bit of these types of business shows because we both have a business background. So I think a lot of people can benefit from that as well. But yeah, tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm most active on Instagram. So if you just search up The Sophisticated Man on all of those, you'll find me.
Awesome, rock on. Yeah, be sure to check him out. This guy's really good. I've been doing content with him for we've been 2 years now, 1 year, 2 years, for a
I think
while.
about a couple years now. Yeah. Come
Yeah,
to think of it, a couple
yeah,
years.
damn, time goes by fast.
Yeah, it sure
But
does. Yeah.
yeah, guys, be sure to, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. We're gonna have some more content. I got some new guests coming out. I'll have next Saturday. I'll have the Mr. 1950 on my show, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I'll put the link in the description later. But if you want some coaching or you want to purchase my ebook, the link's in the description. I can definitely help anyone out with their goals. Having the right mindset. If you're struggling to work with women, or if you're struggling in dating and meeting women and having the confidence, like definitely be around there to help you guys like kick ass and level up in life. And I will see you guys next week on the live show. But until then, I'm going to be posting a lot of shorts and everything. So getting back into the shorts on YouTube, and I got to do a little bit of the Instagram here. But yeah, keep an eye out for them. I'll dropping a video this week, and it's all about doing what you fear to destroy the inner wimp inside of you. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And thank you, Tino, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate it.
Lots the fuck on.